What's going on, everybody? Oh man, it's already quite a morning. How are you doing? So yes, happy Tuesday. Today we are going to be trying to get this functionality done for the new post method on our social media app. Oh, what? Look at that new icon. What? I like that actually. I wouldn't expect to like a white icon. Dark mode and all, but that's pretty sweet. Anyways, how's your morning or how's your day going? Because I know that not everybody is, you know, in the States or in the early part of the time zone. Some of y'all are on the different side of the planet. And yeah. All right, let's open up our social media app. We got most of the UI going yesterday, so that's kind of where we're picking up from, and we need to get that going. We're actually going to be saving to our database today, which is going to be pretty cool. All right, here we go. There we go. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have so far. So I'm going to run it, and we should be... what's going on, Sanjay? Welcome back. Thanks for joining the stream. Juka coming in too. Welcome back. I think I remember seeing Juka. I'm doing pretty good, Sanjay. Doing pretty good. It's early, starting off the day with the live stream. Like I think I had mentioned this last time that you were in here, planning on live streaming Monday through Thursday. So I'm pretty happy. Whenever I do these, it makes me feel like the rest of my day is gonna be like at least I got to do this, so it makes me feel a little bit productive. Juka, great, nice to see both. Good to see you too, Juka. Hope I'm not slaughtering your name. Probably said that last time too, but I really don't want to mess up people's names. It's kind of rude to mess up people's names. At least try to say it right? But yeah, we're just picking up from where we left off, and let's see. Okay, so no posts yet. We haven't added the functionality, so that makes sense. But we do have the profile view right here, and as you can see, it goes like so. All right, cool. So let's go back over here. We hit the new post. It gives us some type of UI. What we want to do is when we tap on this, we want to open up the image picker, which we've implemented once before. And then we also have the caption right here. And then we also want to add a button. I created a new agency called Allurge Studio. If you have time, could you check it out and give some feedback? I'm not really one to... I don't know. Like, if you want to send me a DM with a link, then sure. Either send a DM on Discord, which you can find the link here, or on Twitter, and I will check it out. But I don't normally check out studios or stuff like that, so I don't really know how much feedback I can give you, but I'll tell you what my initial thoughts are. Anyways, let's go ahead and make it so that when we... Oh, well, first we need to have a button, right? So we have the image, we have the caption. Now we need to have the actual create post button like that, and we're going to return an elevated button like this, and then when we tap on it, it's going to do something like that, and our child is going to be a text, and it's going to say post, I guess. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And if I do, let's see, I don't actually know what this key is. So this control, I think this is Option Shift. No, if I do Option and up, I can move them up and down. So Option up or Option down allows me to switch them, which is pretty cool. What do you think about React Native? It will die or not? So I personally don't like JavaScript, so naturally I'm not going to like React Native, right? So I don't know if you can do React Native in TypeScript. I would assume that you probably could, right? If I were to ever try to deal with React Native, then I'd probably do it in TypeScript. But I just don't like JavaScript. And I don't think that React Native will ever die without a sufficient successor taking place, right? So in order for React Native to die, something more phenomenal that is also using JavaScript would have to come along, and it would have to be like React Native is handing off to this other thing. Like it would have to be like a wanted thing. I don't know. I don't think that React Native is ever going to die. I don't think JavaScript's ever going to die. Doesn't matter how you feel about it. I don't think it's going to die. Yeah, but that's just me. You know, I don't know anything. I'm just another guy. I'm just like you. I don't really know, you know? It's not like I have the answers, but that's my suspicion. All right, so we have a button in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our sexy button. Ooh, it's kind of small. Let's get this. Yeah, no problem, Muhal. Muhal? Yeah, I think that might be close to right. Hopefully. All right, elevated button. Can we have a size on the button? No. So then wrap it in a sized box, maybe? Sized box. And then if we do a width is going to be, let's say 200, just so that we could test it out. Save it. There we go. Okay. A little bit too big, but that's the direction we're going for. There we go. I like it. JS will live. Hey, it's the initials of my blog. I am biased. There it is. See? Juka knows. Because it's the initial of his blog, so of course it's gonna live. It's just, that's all there is to it. All right, so now what I actually want to do is I want to put this all the way at the bottom, right? I want to have like the post button all the way down here. And what we can do is have a spacer, right? I think that's what we call it in Flutter. There we go. And we'll add a little bit of padding with a sized box height, and that's just going to be like 30 or some, you know, or some. There we go. Post. I like it. It's pretty cool. Only thing that I don't know is, okay, let's show this keyboard. Let's do return and be, okay, hold on. How do we dismiss this keyboard? I don't think that I want to be able to do enter, right? Like that's not something that they allow on Instagram. I mean, they technically do, but I don't know. Duong says, hello. What's going on, Duong? All right, so we have this caption, and you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and stop it, and let's go ahead and run it again, because I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens like when we tap like just above the post button to see if it starts typing. You know what I mean? Like how big is that? How big is our text field? Is it just taking up the entire field? Like the entire area, or how big is it? Because ideally it's not just going to be um it's not just going to be the size of the like the hint text is what I'm trying to say. But yeah. Oh, shout out from Jordan. Lath or Lyth. Thanks. Thank you for the good luck. Appreciate it. All right. So now we tap, we tap, we tap, we tap. It looks like it's relatively small. All right, there it goes. All right. So, hey, I'm catching the stream today. What's going on, Javier? J Melody in the house. Let's see. Okay, so I think what I actually want is this to be expanded, maybe. Let's see what happens if we refactor it into an expanded like this. Yes. Oh, so you know what I was wondering the other day? I was wondering like, okay, so I've been doing YouTube for quite some time, and like my spare time is usually spent like doing YouTube, right? I mean, well, more than my spare time now. Now that I'm a developer advocate, but I was curious, like, what do developers do on in their spare time? So, like, if you're hired, like, if you are hired and you are working somewhere, what do you do in your spare time if it's not coding? Like what other activities do you do that are not code related, or just are all your activities code related? That's one thing that I was like kind of wondering the other day, and I was like, what do normal people do? Cuz I'm like always coding. Like this is not normal. So like what do people actually do? What's going on, Lucas? Thanks. Thank you so much for the kind words. Really appreciate it. Let's jump over. I'm kind of jealous of some of your avatars I see in the chat. Mine is just a memoji head. How original. Maybe I should switch my head over to my avatar. Yo, Kilo, will you and Jared continue the Clubhouse project? We could learn a lot from it. Yeah, I think we're going to continue it. I just been busy with work. I know that Jared's really busy with work. There's just like a lot of things going on. It can be really hard to collaborate on these things sometimes, and it's just going to take some time. But I think that we're going to get there. Ooh, okay, that worked. All right, so this is a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'll probably reach out to Jared today and see like how we're doing on that. I don't know how much progress he's made. I honestly haven't checked that project in a minute, but I think we're gonna move forward with it. It's just busy schedules. Like I don't know why, just things keep coming up for both of us. All right, so now we have the create post button and Vibhav. Sorry, I messed up your name. Limbani. I think I said that a little bit better. What's going on? Great news. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to bring some good news to your day. I hope to become a full-time developer one day, but for now, I spend my time between family, music, and now coding. Oh, okay. That's cool. Music. I see that you. It looks like you're playing a piano. Do you play the piano, or am I just like not seeing that right? Okay, so now we have this create post button right here. We need to open the actual image right there. So let's go ahead and open this up. We also need to keep track of this too. So whenever we type, we need to have it. I work at PicPay as iOS dev, and I share some of your vids with my coworkers. It helps a lot. Hey, nice. Thanks, Lucas. I'm happy that I could help. That's like one of the really crazy things is that I've met so many people that have said, "Oh, hey, like your videos help me out. Um, they helped me out at work. Like we implemented this at work because of your video." And I just think like, man, that's so weird. Like I've written code that is in a code base. Like I've written code that helps somebody write code in their code base, which is like I kind of have like I'm not taking credit really, but like I kind of have some code in code bases that I'm not even aware of, which is just like a weird thought, right? Like, man, I've heard like a lot of different companies, like big companies too, and it's just like, whoa, that's cool. Yes, sir, says Javier. What's going on, Vishnu? It's been tough time as we've been going through second wave of COVID. Oh no. Hopefully y'all are able to get your vaccines. I just got my first shot last week. So I am tired of being inside. I'm like one of those people that has been like taking it kind of seriously and has stayed inside for the most part. So, yeah, I'm ready to go out and like be normal again. The thing that I miss doing the most is probably going to the movie theater. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so we want to replace this with something that we can do in, okay, so we need a new post block. Let's go ahead and break this out into a new folder, new post like so. And where did you go? New post view can go into the new post block. Move it. I like to move it. All right. Now we do the new post event .dart like that. All right. What are you expecting from WWDC 2021? Ooh, that's a good question. I haven't even thought about that. Okay, so what am I expecting? What do I want? No. Let's see. Well, I think that we're overdue for the glasses. A lot of people have been talking about the glasses lately, so I would like to see that, right? Like some version of the AR glasses. I think that would be this event that they would release something like that maybe. Actually, now that I think about it, this WWDC is more of a worldwide developers conference, right? Okay, so maybe not the glasses, because they don't generally release their products during these things. They release the software, right? So that would mean that we should get some major advancements in. We should be getting some major advancements in ARKit. So I'm expecting to see a lot of AR demos and like major improvements with ARKit. I wouldn't be surprised if they expand on the widgets. So like widgets might have a little bit more functionality, because I think that they're probably going to use like some of the widget APIs to build out apps for the glasses. Probably some CarPlay Improvements as well. They might. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to bring up CarPlay again from a developer perspective, as I think that they are getting close to some type of Apple Car. So, and obviously SwiftUI updates. So the only thing that I hope in regards for SwiftUI is that everything that they release this year for SwiftUI is at least iOS 14 and above, right? Because if they just make new APIs for iOS 15 and up, it's just like, I'm really gonna start hating Apple, because it's just like, it's so stupid to do that. Support at least iOS, like SwiftUI came out iOS 13, and grids are only available in iOS 14, right? So at least support iOS 14 and up when they release new APIs for SwiftUI. So that's kind of what I think is going to happen. Wonder when someone taps the idea of Clubhouse with an ambient 3D sound, kind of like a real virtual reality feeling of space made by sound. You could be the one. Do it, Juka. A playing some RPG like Torment. They got nice sounds. I hope they will open source SwiftUI and combine. That's a big ask. I'm curious why you want to see combine open source though. SwiftUI I totally understand, but I feel like combine's pretty well laid out. I haven't gone super deep with it. I've done some pretty complex stuff with it, but I'm just kind of curious, like what you would want to see come. What more would you like to see come out of combine? But yeah, that would, SwiftUI. Oh, on Vapor, huh? I never thought about that. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. On Vapor. Okay, got it. Got it. Yeah, that would be actually really cool. Okay, new post event. So you said on Vapor, so are you doing like a lot of Vapor apps? How do you think about level of difficulties an iOS developer might have if they want to learn Flutter? Well, I would say if you have worked with SwiftUI and you've probably built at least like an app, or like just like if you've done like some reasonable work with SwiftUI, then you should be used to the concept of declarative programming. And that's kind of like the biggest hurdle, in my opinion. From there, once you are able to understand declarative programming, once you're able to understand declarative programming, I think that Flutter is much easier to pick up after that. So that's kind of my perspective on it. They had to implement their own reactive stuff. SwiftUI is coming to the web with SWASM, as well as you cannot open source SwiftUI without Combine. Ah, okay. Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see like WASM being like a big influencer on these types of decision. I just don't. But maybe. Yeah, that's one thing that I don't like about Vapor is like they implemented their own reactive stuff and it was super confusing and hard to learn for my first time. Yeah, no problem. Glad I could answer that for you. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not getting my hopes up for anything, honestly. Last year was kind of just like meh, and I'm kind of expecting this year to just be like meh. But it does seem like the pattern is like every 2 years they seem to do something a little bit bigger. Like 2 years ago it was SwiftUI, so we'll see. Vapor 4 got much better though. Well, like that was the problem, is like by the time I decided to start learning Vapor 3, which I had already learned Vapor 1 and Vapor 2. By the time I started wanting to learn Vapor 3, people were already talking about Vapor 4, and that was just like, it was such a turnoff. Just did not like it. Yeah, the minimum being iOS 14 for sure. But yeah, back to Vapor, like I just don't like the fact that every year it's just like a completely different framework, like, and it's breaking changes like so bad. Yeah, that's not going to keep me around for long. All right, so new post event. So what can we do with a new post? Well, let's take a look. So when we so we could tap on the image. So request what did we call it? We had it somewhere over here in the profile event. All right, select image request, or pick image request. So pick image request like this. And let's see, it extends new post event like that. Yeah, that is the issue of feeling like an early bird for 7 years in a row. Anyways, thanks for the responses. Yeah, for sure. It's like, yeah, definitely. With Vapor, it's like, damn, how early can you be getting? Because like Vapor 1 and Vapor 2 look completely different. That's expected. Vapor 2 and Vapor 3 look even more different than that. That was not necessarily expected. And now I don't even know what Vapor 3 to Vapor 4 is. But if I were to start learning Vapor 4, I guarantee you somebody's already talking about Vapor 5. And I'm just like, get out of here, dude. Get out. Get out. Open image picker. All right. So we're going to open image picker, extends new post event like so. And then what else do we have? Okay, so after we open the image picker, let's see, profile event, provide avatar path, provide image path. Okay. Provide image path, and this is also going to extend new post event like so, and then we need to have the avatar or the path, right? The image path, and we need to do a constructor like this, image path. Are there any like big conferences for Flutter? Like I know that I think there's one, and that one already passed, but like, are there other conferences for Flutter? It's so hard to figure out like when a conference is coming up. All right, so we did provide an image path. That right there. Oh, what's going on, Sclaire? Welcome back. So we select this image. We open up the picker or the whatchamacallit, the bottom sheet thing. And then that's when we open the image picker, and then we provide an image path after that. That should then be populated, and we'll have an image right here. And then we can also update the caption. New or caption did change. this, and this extends new post event like that. And then we want to have the caption. Nahil says hi and greetings from Argentina. What's going on? Love all the way out to Argentina. When do you use keys, mate? I've read some docs, but still I couldn't understand it. Do you know what they are? So I don't fully understand it either. I've also read docs. Keys are a concept that seemed to just evade me. But from what I can remember, the keys are the way that, and you probably already know this just based off of what the doc said, because this is what I remember reading. So the keys are the way that the identifier is, or keys are the way that Flutter is able to identify the individual widgets. So if you had multiple of the same widget, it can identify which one of those is which, and it can essentially rebuild that specified widget, I think, as opposed to another widget that might be of the same type. I think that might be right. I don't know. That could also be wrong, but that's my understanding of what keys are. They're like identifiers to, like, they're kind of like, whatchamacallit? Memory addresses, right? Like you need to be able to identify if it's that one versus the other one, right? So that's kind of how I think about keys. And the only time that I ever need to create a key or like deal with a key is if I'm creating a new widget, right? Like, let me see, let me show you. Let's go to this feed view, right? The only time I ever worry about key is if I need to create a custom constructor for something like feed view, which is a stateless widget, right? So if I needed to do like feed view, and then I needed to like have some type of dependency injection, then I would have a key right here. This is what I remember that you're supposed to do, right? And then let's say like we had like final int some number like that, and then we could say like this dot some number like that. But then you also have to do the super, which is super, and then you pass in the key and you pass it right here. And that's like usually the extent of when I work with keys. The only other place that I would work with keys are in navigators. So with the Navigator 2.0, right? If you weren't using some type of state management tool, and you were to use, if you were to just use basic state management, like where you're working with stateful widgets, then what you could also do is, let's cut this. What you could do is, how did I do this? So, final, what is it? Page maybe is equal to result dot, is it route? Let me see. Our route settings. And what was it? Anyways, what I'm trying to say here is like there is a key that you would pass into this material page. Let me just undo this. There's a key that you would pass in here to a material page. So I think it has a key. And like you could have some type of string here. Or no, this needs to be like a, I forgot how you do it, but you would essentially pass some type of key right here. And then in that block that I was trying to show you down here, you could like also check if that key matches this key. so that you can do some logic and like update your state and things like that. I hope that makes sense. But for the most part, like I don't fully understand keys, to be honest. I just know that those are like the two areas that I would most likely use them. Yeah, in Flutter docs, keys must be unique amongst the elements with the same parent. They are probably mostly internal to Flutter. Yeah, I think Juka is definitely spot on with that. Seems like we don't need to know well this keys topic too, like implements or typedef. Okay, implements is something that you should probably know because I know that. I mean, it's something that you should know if you start working with it. I think it's more relevant to know implements as opposed to. How did I do this? I forgot how I used it, but I think implements is something that you should probably know. I mean, obviously, I'm able to get by without knowing it, so that's saying something, right? But implements. Let's find out together. So car extends vehicle. We know that using implements vehicle. Let's see. Car implements vehicle. See, this is why it's important to know implements, because I've done something like this before. It extends one thing, but it implements another. And I can't remember what exactly the thing is, but I mean, this article looks like it's pretty helpful if you want to check it out. I mean, I obviously haven't read it, but I mean, it looks like it's trying to break it down in a relatively simple way. Okay. I think, see, that's the keyword mixins. So like you need to understand mixins to know it. So I think the idea here is that extends can also be like used against classes, and then that would be what, polymorphism, maybe, I don't know. But essentially you would get inheritance through the class, but the implements is also like saying that you're following this, like what else do they call it, this interface, right? This interface or this protocol, and you have to implement like each of the required things so that it conforms to it, right? So I think that's maybe probably close to what the difference is. And then let's see, typedef. What is that? Type definition. Yeah, I felt like they were like aliases. So yeah, so typedefs are aliases for functions which are objects. All right, so this would be useful like if you had some type of complex thing where you wanted it to be some type like a type, and you wanted to clean up like your argument, I guess. So it's a function, it's essentially the like a type alias for a lambda or a closure, whatever you call it in your language. But yeah. Do you think this year's Swift will be that one language for everything, from back end to front end and apps? I mean, fully supported from Apple for everything. I mean, I think that Swift is already all those things, right? And it still hasn't taken over the world. I've written Swift on all the Apple environments. I've done Swift in the back end. I've done Swift serverless. I've done Swift on a Raspberry Pi. I've done Swift in scripts. So, and I've done all of those several years ago. Well, not several, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe. So I've done all that stuff before, and yeah, I mean, Swift is still where it's at. So like Swift has a branding issue. That's the biggest problem with Swift, is that it has a branding issue, and most people think that it's just for Apple development. iOS, macOS, tvOS, iPadOS, things like that. So yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, I think that it mostly comes down to like a branding issue with Swift. Like, not enough people know that it can do stuff. I've my personal website, kiloloco.com, is also built using John Sindell's Publish framework, which allows me to build a website in Swift, a static website, that is, right? There's Wasm. I never actually played with that, but I've seen it. I did a little bit of research. I've seen Swift on cross-platforms, supposedly. Let me see. Swift cross... I forgot what it was called, but I didn't trust the site. Cross-platform Android. SCADE, this thing. So I'm pretty sure this is still out of date. I haven't looked at it in several years. So yeah, last updated in 2018. I think the last time I looked at this was, well, no, it was more recent than that. But when I had initially looked at this was in 2019. And the reason why I didn't push any information on it was because of the pricing, right? I don't really trust anything that's going to ask me to pay when I'm developing. Like, just not, it's not going to happen. But supposedly you can write Swift, and then you can also get that Swift on Android. So I don't think that there's going to be anything that happens this year that changes that, unless somebody decides to spend thousands of dollars on marketing for Swift. Many thanks for your efforts. No problem, Sclaire. Always happy to help. Do you think null safety is all that important? I mean, it's going to be part of your life when you start coding in Dart now. So I think that it's probably going to be pretty important. Null safety is really awesome. We have it in Swift. We just call them optionals. Sick. It's super awesome. It makes your code super super safe, I think. I think that's the word I'm looking for. All right, so then our last event is create post. Extends new post event. All right. So let's go ahead and create our new post state. Dart, like so, and we are going to have a class called new post state, like this. And there's a couple of things that we know that we can have, which are gonna be the avatar path, the caption, and the form submission. All right, final. And then we have the avatar path, which is going to be a string. Come on now. Let's get our explicit types going, shall we? And then we also have a string, which is going to be our caption, right? And then we also have a form submission status, form status, like so. Okay, so now, also, like, how many of you are currently using bloc as your primary state management. And if you are using bloc as your primary state management, how often do you end up doing your state like this? Because I've also seen it where it's broken apart in different ways. And I was just kind of curious, like, is this the main way that you kind of do it too? Just kind of curious to see what other people are doing. New post state, this avatar path, this dot caption, and this dot form status. That should be good, right? And then what else? Oh, actually, we need to give these default values, right? So that's empty. That's empty. This is form status, submission status dot, or initial form status, like that, and constant maybe. There we go. Throw a comma at the end and make it look real nice. So I can't ever remember if this actually works or if I still have to do the other thing where I actually initialize them. So let's go ahead and check our profile state. Yeah, I think that is fine. What language is this, Mata? So we are creating a Flutter app, and Flutter is a framework, and we are using the Dart programming language, D-A-R-T, Dart. And I just realized that I know how to spell. Dart, yeah, Dart. It's starting to sound weird. It's starting to make me think about dirt. I don't know. Weird stuff is happening today. Anyways, yes, so we have the new post state right here. Now we want to have new post state, copy with like this. Then we need to pass in each of these things can change. So we'll do avatar, string, whoa. String avatar path, right? String caption and form submission status, form status. Form status like that, right? And then we open up our function and kablam. Then we could do like this dot avatar path is equal to the avatar path. Oh no, hold on. We want to return a new post state. No, not a new post state, like that. And what we'll do is we'll pass in avatar path. It will be avatar path, else it will be this avatar path, like so. We do the same thing for the caption. So caption, this dot caption, and then we do form status, right? And we take that one, this dot form status. And if you understand what is going on here, then you get bonus points. So, who knows why we're doing this copy with constructor? And we have our arguments right here. It's pretty much the same thing as right here. And what's going on with this functionality, right? What is going on here? If you know, bonus points. Yeah, no problem, Mata. happy that I can help. I'm always happy to help. So I'm kind of curious, what programming language do you know though? All right, so I think I accidentally imported this, which is not what we wanted to do. Immutability, that is right. Look at that. Because we are not going to be working with variables. What we want to do is we want to continue to pass a different object down our stream for our block and make sure that we are receiving the event updates, or like the updates whenever there's a new state. So that will trigger our code to regenerate in our UI, and then everything should stay up to date. So yes, good job, Wilfred. Keep saying your name wrong. I'm sorry. All right, so now that we have our new post event and our new post state, we can finally make our new post block, and then we'll actually be able to save our object, right? New post block. .dart. Hey Sim says the time is 17:08 or 5:08 for the people that don't know the 24-hour clock. What time is it there? So right now it is 7:09 a.m. So it's morning time for me. Pretty early. And yeah, I essentially do so. Yeah, if you minus 1 hour from right now, whatever time it is, like right now it's 17:08 for you. So at 16:15 is when I would normally live stream. So at 6:15 a.m. for me, that's when I try to start the live stream. I'm usually like 5 minutes late. You know, chalk it up to just being a little bit lazy. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, so I tried to live stream Monday through Thursday, and I tried to do it for about an hour and 45 minutes. Usually when I import packages or classes in Flutter, I will use the full address, so if I move the files to another folder, it will be okay as well. Does it cause any performance issue or not? I would actually think that would be a little bit harder, because if you use the full address, or I don't know. I don't think that there's a performance issue. I mean, if anything, like, it's not going to affect your code. I know that much. If anything, it would affect, it would maybe be compile times, but I doubt that too. So I think you're okay. New post block. Why does this look weird? Maybe just because it's missing the K, but like, this doesn't look right to me. I don't know. Anyway, extends block like this, and new post event like that, and new post state like that. Oh hey, he knows what he's doing. Okay. All right, so now we need to have this new post block like this, initialize like that, super like this, new post state like that. Then we need to also map to event, or map to state, map event to state like that. We then will just, yeah, we're good right here. Add the little async star, and yes. Mata says, I am a beginner, HTML, CSS, and JS. HTML, CSS, I don't know if they can be called programming languages. It doesn't really matter if they're called programming languages. Pretty awesome skills if you ask me. Just focus on doing you. Don't worry about whoever wants to say whatever they want to say. You do you. learn a new skill, make some money, be happy. That's what it's all about. All right, so now what we can do is if event is boop, 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 boop. Let's see, I need these to be split right. There we go. Just so that we can see the different types of events that we have. So if it is pick image request, then we'll do this. Open action sheet. So I can already tell that I'm missing something on my state. Else if event is open image picker. Well, open image picker. Pretty straightforward with that one. Else if event is provide image path. Yield updated state. Else if event is caption did change, yield updated caption. Else if event is create post, save data and store image. There we go. So let's save this and save that. Async star, is that new to Dart? Well, Carl, I can't speak to whether it's new or not. I don't think that it's new. It could be, but I don't think it is. So async star you use with streams, right? And with a stream, you're emitting events over time, and essentially you don't want to use a return statement. So for me to demonstrate this to you, the easiest one to do would be this one. So what I want to do is I want to send a new value down our stream, right? And the stream is going to consist of new post state values, right? So these are the types of objects that we're sending down the stream. So now when I get this event, which is called provide image path, what you would sometimes do in other functions is you would return something, right? So you would want to return, and we're expecting to get some type of new post state, right? So what we'll do is we'll return our state, which is of type new post state, right? State is a property that's provided since we're conforming to, or we're extending block, right? So we have our state, which is of type new post state. We created a function or a constructor called copy with. So we'll take all the existing values of our state and we'll create a new object with that, with the exception of whatever gets passed in. So in this case, I'm going to pass in the avatar path, and the event, since it is a provide image path, it has this image path right here. And I would do like a semicolon after that, right? So let me see if I could get this squiggly to go away. So what you would do usually in your code, or what you have probably seen more in the past, is returning some type of value in some type of situation. In this case, we're returning a copy of our state, and the only change that we're returning is this. Now, if we were to do a return, that means that we're sending a single value, and this block of code is never executed again unless it's like actually called somewhere. However, since we're working with a stream and we want to receive events over time, what we're going to do is we're going to use async star. So that means that you're returning, or the actual right word that we're going to be using instead of return, because as you can see, red squigglies all over the world. We're going to use this word yield, and yield will essentially return this value, but in a way where it's not going to end the functionality of our stream. So then we'll be able to yield this out and then maybe yield out a different state at a different time. So I hope that was, I hope that makes sense, Carl. Yes, so true. What's going on, DK? I'm just going to say DK because I am going to slaughter your name if I try to say it. But thanks for joining the stream. Hey, how do you that to restructure the code, like organize it? Winston, I don't really, which part are you referring to for like restructuring the code? This was all written out. But if you mean like when it automatically formats, like if I were to do something like this and was going to put like a comment right here, like hello, and then it does this, that is just part of the Dart or the Flutter extension, which I have right here, which you can't really see, but I'll slide this over here. So I go over here to the plugins that I have installed, or the extensions I have installed, and I have this Dart one and this Flutter one. I'm not really sure which one does it. I would assume that it's Dart, but essentially when you use that extension and you save the file with Command S, it will automatically reformat your code. Based off of like the linting rules, I think. Thanks for the explanation. That was super helpful. I don't work with streams too often. Cool to see how it works. Yeah, no problem. Happy that I could help, Carl. Okay, so we got that, right? The next one that we want to yield out, because we actually can do it, is the caption change. So we'll yield state.copy with, and then the caption. And what we want to do here is we want to pass in the event.caption like that. Next, what we can do is we need to update our state. So we're missing an actual state, which is the action sheet showing. Is image source action sheet visible. There we go. So kind of a long one, kind of nasty, but it is very, very easy to understand. So is that, and by default, it's going to be false. We can also have it here like that, and right here, this and this, like so. All right, I'm not too happy about it, but it does the job. Okay. I always get stuck while passing the data from one screen to a different screen. I know way to pass data with constructor and giving arguments. Could you please make tutorial for that? Always get stuck while passing the data from one screen to a different screen. I always get stuck from passing data from one screen to another. I know there's a way to pass data with constructor and given arguments. Could you make a tutorial for that? Yeah, I definitely can. So that is called dependency injection, and please hack your email. Maybe later? I don't know how to hack. Let's see. Okay. Well, Robin, let's see. You want me to cover essentially dependency injection. So that's what I will do. Didn't see. All right. So we need this. All right. So Robin, this is essentially the topic that you would like me to cover. If you want to see it covered, please go to the link and go over to this post and give it a thumbs up. I am going to start, after I finish getting this challenge done, I'm going to start going through my content repo, and I'm going to be reviewing the issues. And the way that I'm going to choose which videos I put out in which order is I'm going to sort by the thumbs up. So the next one that I need to put out is probably this biometric authentication because it has 2 thumbs up. So that's going to be what I have to put out. So that's how my content's going to start working once I finally get done with this project. So yeah. All right, so now back over here at my block, I can do this yield that will, whoa, what happened? Yield, and then we'll state.copy with, let's see, is, oh, come on, dude. You're not gonna help me. There we go. And this is going to be true. Then what we're going to do is we're going to yield the opposite. And then also open image picker needs an image source. So we need to have a final image source like that and image source like that. And we need to also open image picker, this dot image source, like so. Now we want this to be false. And we'll do something with that image source as well, which is going to be actually opening up that image picker. So now what we'll do is we'll say final picked file is going to be, or we'll call it picked image because I like that better. Picked image is going to be await image. Oh, actually we need to have this up here somewhere. Final picker image picker like that. Picker dot get image, and then the source will be event dot image source like this. All right, so then if picked image is equal to null, return, and then what we will do is we will yield a new state yield state.copy with, and we will have a new avatar path, which we can get from the picked image.path, like so, and kablam. Oof. What's going on, Bomik? Sorry, I mispronounced your name, but what's going on? Would you say the knowledge you gained from Swift made the transition to Flutter easier, or was it a bit of a hassle with the syntax and stuff? So the syntax for Dart and Swift are very different, but in general, I would say if you know one programming language, once you know one programming language really well, learning other programming languages are usually not that hard, especially if they have like a very similar like root, right? So fundamentally, Dart and Swift are based off of C, like C style languages. So more along the lines of C++, but like they kind of stem from the same root. Whereas like a different language, I can't think of one off the top of my head. I think maybe Haskell is like completely different. So learning something like Haskell might be a little bit harder for me, but learning something that does follow along the lines of something like C++ or Java, like the C rooted languages, then I think it's easier to learn. So I hope that kind of answers your question. Not really sure what this comma dash comma is. I don't know if that's like just like one of those, but yeah. What's going on, gamer? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Woke up, started streaming. I'm here with y'all, having a good time. We're building stuff, we're coding. Can't really ask for too much more other than that, to be honest. So I'm pretty happy. Okay, so we have this going right here. We could probably use a few comments because this is just getting yikes. All right. This is just my proto. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So now our view needs to be able to represent our state. So we have our block, right? And what we need to do is we need to provide our block, right? This is completely handled. This looks like it is completely handled. Nice. Event, this provide image path. That looks like it's completely handled. This is completely handled. And then the last thing is just to create the post. So I think we're actually going to be able to make it today. Usually I start these streams and we don't really get too far, but hey, we're going to do it. We're going to make it happen. And hopefully we could get everything covered today. So now what we want to do is we have this new post state that we're going to be working with, and in our new post view, we want to be observing those types of things. So let me see how I did it back over at the profile, right? Profile view. And we are returning, this is the session qubit. Oh, I remember because it was just a little bit easier to do it that way. So we are returning our block provider first and foremost. Okay, so if I could find out, let me see. Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and return our block provider first. Return block provider, like so. Create is going to come with that context for you. New post view, like this. Then what we will do is we will have that child, like so. We get rid of this, we get rid of this, we do one of these, and let's see, maybe it's not one of those. Block provider, what are we missing? Let's see, what am I missing? I'm missing something. Block provider, create. Only thing that I can think is that it's not imported, but it is. Create, then it has a child. Huh. I'm missing something. I just can't see it right now. Block provider has a child. And yeah. Maybe it has one too many of these. Huh. What am I doing wrong? I need help. Block provider. Huh. Yeah, I'm doing something wrong. What's the problem? New post view doesn't. Oh, wow. How silly. Well, it happens to the best of us. All right, so new post block, we have that. And now what we can do is we can actually do the builder. And we want to do the builder. Let's see. When we open this up, there's no way to go back actually. So that's one thing that we need to fix. We need to have an app bar. So widget app bar. And I just realized that this does not have an underscore, and let's go ahead and add that. App bar. And we will do final app bar height is equal to app bar, like that, dot preferred size dot height. Then we can return a preferred size widget, the child being an app bar, like so. Title like this. Is it a string or is it a, nope, it's a text. It's a widget. So like that, and we'll say new post. And the preferred size is going to be preferred size let's see, preferred size and height. How did I do this? No. Size from height. There we go. Size from height, app bar height. Oh, got rid of my thing. There we go. And let's throw a comma in there, make it a little bit schmancier. And we have the app bar height. So now we should be able to return the app bar. Let's see. We have our scaffold. We have the app bar up here. We'll do app bar like that. And now we have our app bar. Very nice. Very nice. I like it. Okay. Okay, so there we go. And when we hit the back button, we need to make sure that we're updating our state, but that should be fine for right now. Let's see. Let me see. Is there a button that we can, like, on tap or something like that? Let's see. I don't see any functions in here, but we can probably wrap this in a gesture detector, or we could just have a button. Or no. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out together. Okay, so let's go ahead and start finishing some of this stuff up. So right here, the scaffold, we're going to wrap in a block builder. So we'll change this to block builder. It's going to take in our new post block and our new post state like that. It's not going to have a stream. It's going to have the builder and it's going to have the state. Right? Is that right? Actually, I think I jumped the gun on some of this stuff. I think we can just return the app bar, actually. Yeah, because I was thinking about what we had to go through last time, but that's not necessarily the case this time. So we could just return the app bar. Last time we had to do the preferred size thing because we were actually going to be dealing with different things up here based off of our state, and that's not what we're doing this time. So now what I want to do is, do I ever need the block builder up here? I don't think so, actually. Yeah, I think that was actually fine. So let's go ahead and try to clear this up. And throw a comma in there for good measure. There we go. Okay, so now we're back to where we were, and we have our new post page. Our image is going to show either an icon or, yeah, okay. So then what we'll do is we'll return block builder right here, because we do need our state right here. Context state, and this is going to be new post block like that, and it's going to have a new post state like that, and do one of these and that. We'll cut all this off, we'll throw it at the end, make it all nice. Save it, reformats, looking snazzy. Now, when we have our, now what we want to do is we want to check the state. So if we have the avatar path, then we can create it. So let's do it right here. We'll do avatar, or we'll do state dot avatar path is not equal to null. Right, and we'll show something. This will be the else case, and this will be the other case. So what we'll do is we'll show the file image, and we will create that from a file, and we can create a file from a path. So state.avatar path like that. I believe that should work, right? May need to import this from Dart.io, and there we go. File image is not a subtype of type widget. Huh? What? Okay, so then maybe it's just image. I always get these things mixed up. So image file dot state dot avatar path. Yeah, right? Is that right? It crashed, but I don't know why. Like, it shouldn't even be hitting that code though, right? Is not null. Oh, am I setting it to an empty string by default? That could definitely be it. Okay, so the problem here is that I'm setting it to an empty string, which is not necessary. Caption. Let's see, caption. Well, let's check our post. What is the description? So let's see. The caption is not required. So that can be optional. So we don't need this. So now let's go ahead and stop it and restart it. So the problem was that essentially I was trying to show an empty string, and that's just not going to work, right? But hey, what can you do? Oh boy, let us do this. Look it. So, you know, one of the things that I enjoy the most is when everything just works, right? Like, okay, so the other day I was implementing this feature, right, on an app, and I was like, I like had everything just in my head. I like knew how to do everything in my head. I mean, this was in native iOS development. That's primarily why, because that's like my background, right? But I was able to implement an entire feature by just simply typing on the keyboard and just thinking about, okay, this is what it's going to look like when I do this. This is how it's supposed to operate if I build this. And I was even like able to catch like some of the issues that I was going to run into. I was like, oh, is this going to actually create like some type of weird cycle? What's that behavior going to be like? So I'm like typing away for like maybe an hour straight, right? And I ended up implementing an entire feature without running the app, which was really cool. I implemented this entire feature over the course of an hour without running the app, and it just like worked just like that, like bam. And that was like one of the best feelings. And I those are like the little nuggets of a developer's day that just like really just, that's what I'm here for, you know? So yeah, when I work with Flutter, it's like the complete opposite. Like I try to do something and then like, oh, it doesn't work. So here we go. Looks like we are no longer crashing, which is pretty good. Now what we need to do is we need to actually be able to open our action sheet. So we implemented an action sheet back over here at Profile View. And what we want to do is we're going to just steal all this code. Ooh, that's my code now. That's my code now. Get over here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new action sheet. And this is going to be a image, a picker source. Let's see, a picker source action sheet. So picker source action sheet .dart, right? We'll do a class picker source action sheet. And the reason why we're doing this is because it has hold on, let me see. Oh, actually what we need is in here. The reason why we're doing this is because it has like the two different functionalities based off of what the platform is. So I actually want to return everything from here. and then we'll be able to actually reuse it. So that's like the best part about it. So action stateless widget like that. And then we have our build method. We'll go ahead and return, or actually we'll just do this. And we're going to run into a couple of different things. So first we need to make sure that we have Cupertino imported. That should resolve some of those. We need platform imported from, I guess, IO maybe? It's kind of weird. Select image source. Let's see, what do I want to do here? Let's see. I wonder if we can make this an argument. Right, because we don't want to be grabbing it from the profile block. So what do we need to do? So like, what's the signature? This is the signature right here. It's a function that passes in an image source and then we do a thing, right? Right. So select image source. We can put this up here. This is kind of weird refactoring, huh? Select image source like that. And we need to import image source like that. And we also need to have a constructor. So picker source action sheet like that. And this, or hold on, we need to have key this dot select image source like that. Then we need to do our super key. Do you love me? Are you riding? All right, there we go. So our build method doesn't actually return anything. That's not good. Let's see. So how can we do this? Because our build method doesn't actually return anything. Interesting. I suppose that this could have just been a function, huh? How do we do this? I want to reuse this code, but I'm not sure how. Whatever, we'll come back and refactor it some other day. I just want to get this working. I just want to get it working. We're so close. Okay, so what we'll do, let's copy this. Right? We can just copy it. I'll refactor it after I've had some time to think about it. How about that? Right? Can't always just do everything on the first go. Sometimes you need to work through it. All right, so we have this void show picker source action sheet. Like that. And now we need to do all the same imports. So this, we don't want the profile block. What do we want? Oh, and this needs a build context. Like that. And profile block is going to be new post block like that. Open image picker. I think that's one of them. New post event like that. Got it. We need to import Cupertino. We also want to, oh, I guess that's it, huh? Oh, image source like that. There we go. Looking pretty good. So now we need an actual block listener, which we can have at this level right here. Return block listener. And then the listener is going to come with that context and a state. We'll do something in here like that, like this, like this, like this, like that. And then we need to specify what we're listening to. New post block with a new post state, like that. So then what we'll be able to do is listen, and this will be the actual child. Oh, I probably messed that up. Let's go ahead and we'll do this. We'll do this, that, and child, this, and one of those looking snazzy. Now, what we can do is if hold up, state is what were our options again? I can't even remember. So picker image request, right? If it's that, oh no, not this. If it's if our state is this. Okay, so if state dot this is image picker, image source action sheet visible, right? If it's visible, then what we're going to do is run that function, which is going to be show, and this probably doesn't have like a underscore in front of it. Oh, of course. Okay, show picker, whatever, that long word. So we show that, we pass the context like that, and we should be good. So now when we tap on the thing, it should show, from there we're able to select the image source, and it is added to our new post block. So let's go ahead and try it out. We tap on it. Not sure if it's actually ready or not. Maybe the block listener was not added. So that's like another thing that we need to be aware of is if you don't have the block listener added, then it's just not going to work, right? So that's what we need to check for, is if the actual block listener has been added and if we can actually listen to those events, in which case our new post block right here should receive the pick image request. It turns that to true. Then we fire, we have our function, we have this open image picker. We set this back to false. We take in that image source. If we get a picked image, we should be good and we can copy that path. Only problem is that this is probably not going to work because there is a bug on the simulator. Yeah, there's a bug on the simulator and we may need to run this on a real device. So let me prepare for that scenario too. And did it run yet? Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's up and running. And now when we do new, we get this, we tap that. We are not getting this though. Okay, so let's double check, make sure that everything's working. Um, let's see. So we ran into a bug. Now we have to find the bug. Okay, so let me make sure that we are actually getting right here. Where's our output going? Print. Yep. Like that. Print statements, the best debugging tool we've ever been given. Okay, this is not debug. This is not printing out anything. So what's going on? So let's go back over to our feed view. And we're probably not even emitting that thing, right? So that's probably the reason. I think we're just printing at one time. So let's take a look at the image itself. And gesture detector, it prints out oh hi. But why is the... Oh, that's weird. Why? I feel like these are switched. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so oh hi is being printed out. And now what we want to do is we want to do bloc, or no, we want to do context dot read, and we are going to access our new post block like that. And whoops, we want to add that event. So add request. Let's see, image something request. Pick image request. Right? That should work. So now if we go back over here, we do this thing, we get yep, and we get this. So if I go to gallery, it opens the gallery. Can I select anything? Of course not, because why would it? It doesn't let me select anything. Oh man. Okay. So this is part of that bug that I was mentioning. Yeah. Okay, so then what we want to do is we'll stop it, and this time we'll actually run on a real device. So running it on a real device, we should actually be able to see a whole lot more, or like get all the functionality working, which is kind of good. And what I'll actually be able to do, I'll give you like a little tour of the office for those of you that haven't seen it. It's pretty messy in here. Yeah, excuse the mess. Oh goodness. But I'll give you like a little bit of a tour. Show you what it's like to be Kilo Loco. It's also going to be laggy right now too. Here comes the lag. My computer's gonna blow. So much for M1 performance. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Activity monitor. So let's take a look. Take a look at the CPU. 310%. Pretty snazzy. OBS just ripping my computer apart. That's pretty cool. Is Xcode still open? That's interesting. Should have probably closed that. That'll probably make life a lot easier. Not now. We also have the Discord open. Let's close that. But yeah, look at 170%. Look at that. And it doesn't show it, but I know that actually whenever I run on VS Code, like it really destroys the stream. So that's like another thing. See, maybe it's like this XC device thing. It's saying code helper. I don't know what these are actually. But they must be part of whatever's happening under the hood with Flutter. Because every time I run, it gets like super choppy. But let's see. Oh, and then I also need to open up this app so that you guys can actually see what's going on my end. This is a pretty cool app. I like it. So here we go. Let the games begin. All right. Oh, let's see. Runner, product, It crashed. Of course it did, because it takes 5 minutes to run, but yeah, it crashed. So it's gonna get choppy again. Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves for the choppiness, because here it comes, I promise. And it looks like it's building to the device. We've done this before. I actually think I have it on here, Social Media Proto. It's this one right here. So it should actually be able to launch, but if it's going to keep crashing, then we just might be stuck. But while that goes, what I can start doing is, for the block, what we're going to need to do is have our data repo and our storage repo in our block, because we're going to have to like upload the file and save the post itself. So we'll do them in alphabetical order. So that's data. So we'll have data repository, and we'll call this one data repo, like that. And final storage repository, and we'll call that one storage repo, like that. Then we can do @required like this. Let's get that autocomplete. And this dot data repo, and then @required this dot storage repo, like that. There we go. So now this is going to blow up if we don't fix it in time. And what we can do is we'll do data repository, and we can do context.read. And we can just specify that this is the data repository, like that. Oh, I think we need to import it, right? Data repository, like that. There we go. And then we do the same thing with our storage repo, context.read. And we will do storage repository, like that. There we go. Now we should have the data repo and the storage repo. We can actually start building in some of the functionality to save our post. So first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to upload that post, right? So let's see, we'll do await storage repo dot upload file. And let me see. So we did this in profile, and we're expecting a file here. So let's see what our profile block does. Does it just deal with a file? Do we create the file before we upload it? What exactly are we doing? So where are you at? Yeah, we're creating the file on the fly, just like, woo, here's a file. Okay, so we can do that. That's pretty easy. So we'll do file dot, we'll do file, and then we'll do event or state dot avatar path, like that. we need to import Dart.io right here. And here is our app. It finally launched. So let's go ahead and do a new post. I'll tap on the image. We're going to get this. Then I can choose camera, because I told you that I'd let you see my office. My very dirty office. Look at that. Look at all the wires. All those wires. This is my screen. My other screen. My audio mixer. My old bag of chips and my work laptop. Right there. All right. So the first post, you know it has to be Kilo with a dirty O. Like so. Boom. I like it. All right. I kind of like that. This is my very first post. Okay, so we got that done. Now let's go ahead and implement the functionality so that when we do the create post, it will actually work. So let's say that we wait for the file to upload. Does this return anything back? Maybe the key? Yeah, I'm gonna assume it's going to be the key. What does it return? Oh yeah, it does return the key. Okay. So then we'll say final image key is equal to that. Then we can create a new post, which we may need to do in our data repository. Get post, create post. We need a user. Oh no, we need a user. Okay, so we'll have the image key and the caption, and we also need the user. The photo capture looked really good. Yeah, thanks, Carl. Check it out. Pretty high quality, I think. You could even see like the crap in between my keys. Look at that. It's all dusty down there. It's good enough to see my embarrassing details. Another thing that we need is the current user. So let's think, how do we want to do this? We'll do user. Let me see how the profile did it. I think I saved the user to the state, and that made sense. But here, I don't think I want to save the user to the state. I think I want to save it to the block. Current user, like that. User like that. Import it. There we go. Now we need the user at required this dot current user, like that. Okay, so let me see. Now we can do current user context read and session qubit, I think has it, dot current user, like that. Cool. So now we should have the current user using our dependency injection. Oh yes. Now what we should be able to do is await for our data repo to create a post. We'll need the current user. The image key and the caption is coming from our state caption, like that. And does this spit out anything? It returns a post. Final post is equal to that. Let's just go ahead and print the post like that. So that's good. And then let's see. Now that we have this done, what we want to do is we want to update the state. So first we actually need to say that, hey, you know what? We're trying to yield state.copy, and the form status is going to be updated to form submission status dot, or form submitting. There we go. And then we also need to wrap this in a try catch block because this stuff can also fail. So and our state should probably have an error, but right now we're just going to print the error. E like that, and we will update our state to be yield state copy with form status form fail submission failed, like that. Exception is going to be the E. There we go. And yield state.copy with form status like this, and the submission was a success like that. All right, so we should be able to handle the success and failure even though our UI isn't really showing anything, but yeah, we should be pretty much good here. So if I go over here to our post, and let me just go ahead and actually we'll just move this down, right? Whoop. We'll say successfully submitted the post right here. Like that. All right, so let's see if it works. Let's clear out our logs because reasons. And if I hit post, I'm not sure if I actually hit it or not. I think that we should get something. Resetting connection timer. Maybe either I didn't, or I hit it for sure that time, but it doesn't look like it worked. And the reason why it didn't work is because we're actually not emitting this state. So let's go back over to our view real quick. And the problem is the button isn't connected to anything. So we should probably connect that button. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. And we'll say context. Well, first let's go ahead and wrap this in a block builder. So let me go ahead and turn this back. So we'll do return block builder like this. It's going to have a builder with the context and the state like that. We'll open it up. We'll delete that one. We're going to specify that we are working with a, let me see, a new post block like that. Then what we can do is, oh, well, we also need to do new post state like that. And what we will do is we'll say state dot form status is form submitting like this. and this will be our else case. So if it is submitting, we're going to do a center, or we're going to do a circular progress indicator like that. There we go. And now when we press this button, what we want to do is return, let's see, context dot read block, a new post block like that, and we'll be adding a create post event. There we go. All right, so now we should actually see it visually update. So we hit post and it explodes. Oh no, what happened? It printed out the error though, I think. Dang, that thing just blew up. Let's see. No method called upload file called on null. Upload file called on null. So that's saying that our storage repo was null. Maybe it's because I needed to do a restart. So that's unfortunate. It just blew up. It was just like, boom. Oh well. That happens sometimes. So I think the problem was that we added this after all that stuff got changed, and it actually never got injected into our new post block. So makes sense. I think because you could only create, let me see. I want to say it's because when you create this new post right here, where is it? When you run this block of code, it only happens once. So like if you were to do a restart, that doesn't actually change that block because it's already been initialized. So what I'm thinking is that when we tried to call upload file, this was like, nah, we don't have that, and it went kaboom. So in my very expert opinion, no. So that was probably the issue there, but I think everything else is connected, and we even have the UI to let us know if something's happening. But this will also give us the chance to choose from the picker itself, or from the gallery, as opposed to just showing the camera. So we could do new. We tap on this, we choose gallery this time. And me with my daughter, I'll choose this one. And she's sleeping. And oh, look at the little sleepyhead. Huh. All right, so now let's go ahead and clear this out. And if we do post, we get that thing. It was a little bit stretched out, but we got something back. Let's find out if it was a success or not, because there was a lot of stuff going on here. We have a lot being printed out. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Did it work? I mean, it looks like it worked. Successfully submitted post. There it is. So now we have it up there. So let's, hold on. Yeah, I think that did it. So now what we should be able to do is we should be able to see it in the back end maybe. So let me go ahead and do amplify console. Right. And we should be able to see this in the back end. 1 second. I just want to make sure like the image is up there, and then also that we have like the data up there too. 3AG. Okay, so we want the admin UI. Here we go. Okay, so we go to our content. Let's see. That's the user, but we want to see if there's a post. There is a post. Oh, the caption didn't get saved though. Did I include the caption? Oh, you know what? Okay, that's a good catch. Okay, so the image got saved, but the caption didn't. And I know why. It's because we're not actually updating our state when the text changes. So in our caption, what we need to do is I'll just return another block builder like this. Context state like that. We're going to specify that it's going to be a new post block, new post state, like that. We close it down here. There we go. And then what else do we need to do? So on changed, we're going to get a value, and this needs to update our state. So context read new post block, like that. Add caption change. Did change caption is going to be that value, like so. All right. I plan to do Flutter long term. Should I specialize in learning JavaScript or Dart? Well, I mean, if the plan is to learn Flutter, then you have to learn Dart. You shouldn't actually learn JavaScript. So, because right now, the only way to write a Flutter app is in Dart. So yeah, I would say learn Dart. I know basics JavaScript, but want to specialize in one now. Yeah, if you want to specialize in Flutter, then you have to learn Dart. I think that's the way to go. I mean, JavaScript is, a useful skill to have. There's a lot of jobs with JavaScript, but if you are looking to specialize in Flutter, then yeah, you have to go with Dart. And also, thanks for coming back, Manly. Really appreciate it. Always love when y'all come back. Okay, so now that we did that, what I'll do is, let's see, if I go back and I do new post, let me show you what I'm looking at. So I want to choose a new photo, and once again, I'll do my son this time. Little cute boy. Little cute boy. All right, so let's go ahead and post it. This really oval, that looks so weird. So oval. Let me just wrap that in the center because that's just like, it's bothering me. Child. We already should have posted it. It should have been a success. So now what we want to do is we want to refresh this screen. And if we get it back, okay, but the caption still didn't update. Oh no, why not? Huh, that's weird. So when we change caption, caption did change. We passed the value. Huh. That's unexpected. So let's go back over to our block and caption did change. Print event dot caption. And also we're sending the caption in here, right? State dot caption. Yeah. That's weird. So let's save this. Let's go to our debug console, clear this out. We'll go over to our app. So this and our app, and okay. So then when we create the post, are we adding the caption in there? Haha, that's the problem. Well, duh. Well, it's not going to work if you don't actually send the caption. So it's after image key. I will keep to that. Okay. I'm like, why doesn't it work? Caption. There we go. All right, so let's try this again. Now, what we're going to do, wonder why it says 9:41. What's wrong with my phone? That's weird. What time is it? There's something wrong with my phone for sure. It's like impossible to be 9:41 right now. Like even if it was in a different time zone, like that's just wrong. But that's fine. It's okay. What we want to do, social media proto. We'll do this, and then when I select this, I'll do gallery again, and you know, got that vaccine, a little bit too big. Let's try a different one. Let's see. Little sleepy girl. Little sleepy girl. Oh, that's the simulator's default time. But this is a real device. That's the weird thing. Wonder why it does that. Maybe because I'm plugged in and whatever it's doing is like emitting that time. But that's really weird. Girl. Little sleepy girl. So then I do post. That circular indicator looks much better. We go back over. We restart, or we refresh this page. And boom. Okay, cool. So now we got the image key, and we should be able to go to storage from here, I think. See my S3 bucket. Is the iOS Flutter animation jank fixed? I've never experienced it. I haven't experienced it either, but I don't think that it's fixed. Okay, we got a lot of stuff in here. Oh, these are the avatars that we were making. Okay. It should be this one. So it ends with 550. Let's double check. Go back to the content. And it should end with, if I could get this to show, 550. Okay. So this one should be my daughter sleeping. I don't think that we'll be able to see it, but we can try. If we copy, if we go to the simulator and then we paste it up here, let's see, copy link address. There was a way that you were able to like paste it in here at one time, but it doesn't seem to work anymore. Okay, what happens if I tap on it? Access denied. All right. Well, I think that it's in there. I could view it if I had it on the actual device, but that's okay. I think that this is going to be it. So what we can do now is if we go over to our feed block, it's going to do load initial, get posts, should be able to get posts, index, query, posts, there we go. So then maybe just the post view. Is it actually pulling that data? So then we go to our feed view, our post feed, block builder, and I think the problem might be if my feed block is not actually ever getting the load initial feed. So what I could do is I can add load initial feed like this. So let's try it out together. Let's see if it blows up or not. And we may need to restart it because it is an initial event. This is not what I wanted to do, but what happened here? Get posts was called on null data repo. We need to make sure that data repo is there on our feed view. We are not passing it, so data repo context dot read data repository like that, and we need to import like that. So now if we try to do this again, oh, okay, so it kind of worked a little bit. So there's something right here in this area, but we can't see it, and pretty good reason for that, but it looks like it is there. So I'm going to leave it right there. That's going to be it for today. I'm going to, once again, plug the Discord. Community seems to be growing. We have people helping out there every day, which is really cool. But yeah, that's going to be it. So we got that going. Next time we'll be working with the feed view and working on getting everything to show. And yeah, so thank you for your time. Go out there and keep coding passionately.